Hello, everybody. This is Rewrite Your Reality with Reese. I am your host, and today I'm going to talk about manifesting a specific person or anything and the real reason remembering it right, i.e., revision, works, right? So, when people talk about remembering, i.e., revision, them right, they don't realize what's actually going on quite typically. Right? They just say remember it or revise it, revise it, revise it, right? And what tends to happen is that you have an experience in the three-dimensional world, and then you try to give it a meaning, having called it forth as a different meaning, and you are confused now. I know that might seem a little confusing, but we're going to unpack that. You are reality, right? Your physical self is experiencing an infinite number of realities right now, an infinite number of stories right now. Remember, confusion is a story. So, here's the scenario. You are at the gym, you are at the store, you're at a mall, whatever, and you see someone that you find attractive. Maybe you and them hold eye contact for a moment, 2 moments, 3, and then you go on your way. Maybe a smile was shared, whatever. Then you try to remember it later. But here's the thing. You remember it in a way that's slightly confusing, and then you're trying to look deeper into a smile, look deeper into eye contact, look deeper into any one of those little interactions, so you have evidence and give it the meaning you want to give it. I'm not saying stop look for that evidence to give it a meaning anyway, right? I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying both are things that we possibly and can normally do. You try to remember a frame of reality correctly. Look for the evidence in that frame of reality that represents what you want, and then imagine it that way. It doesn't feel good. It feels confusing. It feels forced, right? And here's the idea behind that. If you go to a streaming thing or a bookstore or whatever, and you go to horror, right? You go to action. You're not going to find romance there. You're not going to find comedy there, right? They might be in it somewhere, and that's fine. But you are going for the specific genre beforehand, looking for another one, right? You're not going to find that. If you go to like history and then expecting to see sci-fi or fantasy, it's not going to be there, right? You need to go to fantasy and history first. Fantasy and sci-fi first, and experience what you want to experience because you went there first. So here's the thing. When you are remembering that little scene where you experience physically with this person you find attractive, be conscious of the manner in which you are calling it forth first, right? If you are calling it forth as confusion, you know you call it forth as confusion because you are struggling to give it a certain meaning, and that meaning never sticks. Why? Because it's confusion. It can't have another meaning. It has to be confusing. It has to be not interested in you, and it has to be interested in you. It has to have a little of both. So no one meaning can stick other than this is very confusing to me. I don't know what it's supposed to look like, but that scene that I'm experiencing over and over and over is very confusing because you called it forth as confusion. Then there's the frame. Then there's the experience of what you are calling it as an experience. You called it forth as confusion. Then there's the frame. Then there's the experience of you trying to give it a meaning, right? That all of it happened at once, but you experienced that whole thing linearly, right? So now what I'm saying is when you say I am that I am, and you come back to that knowing, that subtle knowing of I am God, be still, I am God, whatever, whichever way it was, right? What do you do then? You realize I am every story. Stop being in the section of confusion. Realize I am the library and I can be in every section I want to, right? Now you're no longer calling forth what happened because what happened doesn't matter. You're calling forth an idea of I am chosen. So when you receive that frame, even if it looks identical to the confusion frame, even if it may look hypothetically identical to the three-dimensional frame that you experience, and you can say, no, that's what I experienced. Right? I have a knowing I experienced a version of this thing. But this version here, I'm not confused about it. I called it forth as chosen. This is the frame. I know what that person in my consciousness is thinking. That person in my consciousness is thinking, I am into that person, into me. I'm into them, me, whatever, from the perspective, right? I am giving it the meaning I am chosen in my imagination because I called it forth as I am chosen. And I know I called it forth as I am chosen because I consciously, intentionally did that. And that frame is me giving it the meaning of I am chosen. Right? I am chosen. I gave it the meaning I am chosen because I called it forth as the meaning I am chosen. You see how it works together? It all happened at once. So here, I had a little drawing. Yep. Can you see? Yes. Okay. Here's a 3D effect, right? You saw them in the store or something or other, and you experienced something, whatever it was, right? A longer gaze, a longer moment held. Remember, it's all you, it's all your consciousness bringing it into your own consciousness, right? So that person holding their smile, their gaze, their whatever, was something that just resonated with you more than anybody else in the place. Then you think back later and try to remember what it was like because you want to consciously create an idea here. You want to call it forth. But you're trying to give what was happening a meaning and you're confused as to what their meaning was because you're saying, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they really meant. Maybe they were being nice. Maybe they weren't being nice. Maybe it was someone else. Maybe it was this. Maybe it was that. You called it forth as confusion. Then there's the frame. And then there's you trying to give it the meaning that you want to give it, but you can't because you've already called it forth as confusion. So what do? You shift yourself. You shift your consciousness. You shift consciousness into knowing I am everything. I am everything here. So I'm just going to go to love. I am chosen. And I'm going to call the frame that represents me being chosen as my chosen reality. And I'm going to just let that go. And I'm going to give it the meaning I am chosen. Easily, it sticks. Why does it stick? Because it came forth as that idea. It came forth as I am chosen. So when I give it the meaning I am chosen, it's basically just me reinforcing what idea I already called it forth as. Right? I called it forth as the idea of I am chosen. It can't be anything else. That frame in your imagination literally can't be anything else. That person, they're thinking, oh, I'm into this guy, or I'm into this girl, whatever. Right? And they're thinking that because in your imagination, it's you. Every single person here in your imagination is you. Whichever character is here, it's you. So that you call forth the imaginational space where every character that is looking at you in the way I am chosen. Because it's all you. There's no other person in your imagination. There's no other consciousness in your imagination creating your imagination but you. There's no one else. So when you call it forth as confusion, you can only give it the meaning of I am confused because you're calling it forth that way. So when you call it forth I am chosen, you automatically experience yourself giving it the meaning I am chosen. Right? Remember, nothing is happening linearly. It's all happening simultaneously and you are experiencing it linearly. So whatever experience of linearity you are having, know that you have called it forth first. Right? That's the point. So, just to recap that whole thing, when you're remembering it right, as in the way you desire it to be, consciously creating it the way you desire it to be, you are calling it forth. You're not replaying a dead past. Right? It feels confusing because you called it forth confusingly. Meaning is not added to a frame after you saw the frame. It's called forth as that meaning. Right? Horror is not added to the movie after you watch it. It's horror as the movie. Love as the movie. But if you call forth horror, and you call forth horror, you're trying to give it romance, it's not going to work. Right? There might be a romantic thing in it, but it's still horror as an idea that you have put on. So call it forth as romance, as love, as I am chosen, and then see the frame, and then know that when you gave it that meaning, it is that. And everything in that frame, everything in your imagination, everything in you, every person in your imagination, it is you. There's no one else. You can literally stop the frame mid remembering and then have everyone turn to look at you and say, I am you. Why? It's you. You can have the rocks talk to you. Right? You can have the doors talk to you. You can have the sun wave like Teletubbies. I don't know why that popped in. Anyway, right? You have the sun wave at you like in Teletubbies, right? Who cares? It's all you. Your imagination is all you. We spend so long trying to get the thing right. Oh, we spend so long trying to get the imagination right, not realizing you are hindering it. Right? Just go, let it go. Right? No fixing, no forcing, no guilt, nothing. Woo. Right? Just stand in your own awareness as reality itself. You can have the entirety of space-time turn in your imagination and look at you. Right? It's all you. There's no difference between you and your imagination in any single person that is within you. Nothing. Zip. Zero. Hello. So, when you are focused and trying to remember something in the way that it exactly happened and trying to give it a meaning that you don't believe in, call it forth with the meaning first. And then give it that meaning, and then say, but how can I call it forth like that? Realizing you are reality, and reality is coming from you. Everything in reality is coming from you. Every single thing. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if you only see the effect of it like a month later. It doesn't matter. It's unfolding, changing from within you right now. The moment you decide to call it forth as reality. Whew. Okay. And you shift. That is the shift. That is shifting. How it shifts from a top-down way, physically, I don't know. I don't know. I know no one knows. Only our higher self knows, because our higher self is that top-down looking. But when you identify with being that higher self and that top-down, you know that it's all being taken care of for you in a way that is so perfect you can't even comprehend it. Right? So don't try and comprehend it. Just say, I am. I am chosen. When I imagine reality, I'm imagining myself in that moment, knowing that whomever I am looking at in my physical reality, in my imagination, in that physical space, is choosing me. Because I'm chosen, because it's my reality, because it's my world, because it's my life, because it's my awareness that's creating what's going on. And I don't have to do a thing to make it true. It's already true. Right. So, that being said, thank you for the love. Thank you for the comments and the sharing and the liking and subscribing and joining and following and etc. 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 Love and light to each and every one of you. Right? Some beautiful comments, all different videos popping up, and it's so wonderful. I'm really grateful. Thank you. Right? I hope you like my mannerisms of delivering this stuff. I was really excited about this video. I thought about it last night. I literally jumped out of bed. Oh, this is a great idea, right? To present it. Anyway, that being said, Facebook group growing every day. It's like a good chunk of people joined in the last 2 or 3 days. You can post stuff in the community there. People answer. I will also answer as well, succinctly, as deeply as I can. If you want personal, one-on-one coaching and stuff like that, email me. Description is in the box below. TikTok page growing as well. That being said, much love, much light, and I will see you on the next one. Remember, call forth the reality initially, and then you know what you have called it forth because it feels different. Feeling is the secret. Never call out. Just to end it there. Bye.